Aloha Jivas! Welcome to Bhagavad Gita as it is by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupad. We're on chapter 2 and starting at text 44. Bhogaishwarya prasatanam taya parta chatasam vyavasayatmika buddhi samadona vidyate. In the minds of those who are too attached to sense enjoyment and material opulence, and who are bewildered by such things, the resolute determination of devotional service to the Supreme Lord does not take place. Purport. Samadhi means fixed mind. The Vedic dictionary, the Nirukti, says, Samyag adiyate smin atmatattva yatatmyam, which is translated as, quote, when the mind is fixed for understanding the self, it is called samadhi. Samadhi is never possible for persons interested in material sense enjoyment, nor for those who are bewildered by such temporary things. They are more or less condemned by the process of material energy. Text 45. Trigunya Vishaya Veda Nistraigunyo Bhavarjuna Nirdvandvo Nitya Sattvasto Niryoga Kshema Atmavan. The Vedas mainly deal with the subject of the three modes of material nature. Rise above these modes, O Arjuna. Be transcendental to all of them. Be free from all dualities and from all anxieties for gain and safety, and be established in the self. Purport. All material activities involve actions and reactions in the three modes of material nature. They are meant for fruitive results which cause bondage in the material world. The Vedas deal mostly with fruitive activities to gradually elevate the general public from the field of sense gratification to a position on the transcendental plane. Arjuna, as a student and friend of Lord Krishna, is advised to raise himself to the transcendental position of Vedanta philosophy, where in the beginning there is Brahma Jigyasa, or questions on the supreme transcendence. All the living entities who are in the material world are struggling very hard for existence. For them, the Lord, after creation of the material world, gave the Vedic wisdom advising how to live and get rid of the material entanglement. When the activities for sense gratification, namely the Karma Kanda chapter, are finished, then the chance for spiritual realization is offered in the form of Upanishads, which are part of different Vedas, as the Bhagavad Gita is a part of the fifth Veda, namely the Mahabharata. The Upanishads mark the beginning of transcendental life. As long as the material body exists, there are actions and reactions in the material modes. One has to learn tolerance in the face of dualities such as happiness and distress, or cold and warmth, and by tolerating such dualities become free from anxieties regarding gain and loss. This transcendental position is achieved in full Krishna consciousness when one is fully dependent on the goodwill of Krishna. Okay, so I think this is acknowledging the fact that becoming self-realized is a process. It's not assumed or expected that somebody who's in the material world will automatically be detached from, from things in the material world. So there's a process of enjoying and then realizing that once you've, they say even people who have attained the biggest riches still realize that this is not fulfilling, this is not the end all. They're still unhappy for whatever reasons, that there's something more. Everybody has their different path in order to progress to the stage of being what was the word again? Having equanimity in the face of happiness and distress. So also this mentions for the first time the 3 modes of material nature. I'm pretty sure that at some point here it will describe those, but just a brief introduction, the 3 modes of material nature. So everything that is temporary and existing in the material world has a quality of either sattvic, rajasic, or tamasic. Tamasic, I believe, is in the mode of ignorance, or having the quality of ignorance. That was tamasic. Then rajasic is in the mode of passion. And then you have sattvic, which is in the mode of goodness. So even like the foods that we eat are in these modes. It's they're vibrating at a certain frequency, and just the nature of things. So it's advised, if you are on the path to becoming one-pointed in devotional service, then it's advised to eat only those foods in the mode of goodness. And even further is that you offer those things to Krishna, to God first, then it becomes sanctified if it's been accepted. And then once we say that you don't actually eat prasadam, that you honor it, the food that's been offered and accepted by the Lord is of the highest quality, and so you honor it, and then the effects that it has within your body, both subtle and physical, is purifying. So yeah, let's see if we should continue here. Let's go text 46. Yavanartha udapane sarvataha sampluto dake tavan sarveshu vedeshu brahmanasya vijannataha. All purposes that are served by the small pond can at once be served by the great reservoirs of water. Similarly, all the purposes of the Vedas can be served to one who knows the purpose behind them. Purport. The rituals and sacrifices mentioned in the Karmakanda division of the Vedic literature are to encourage gradual development of self-realization. And the purpose of self-realization is clearly stated in the 15th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. The purpose of studying the Vedas is to know Lord Krishna, the primeval cause of everything. So, self-realization means understanding Krishna and one's eternal relationship with him. The relationship of the living entities with Krishna is also mentioned in the 15th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. The living entities are parts and parcels of Krishna. Therefore, revival of Krishna consciousness by the individual living entity is the highest perfectional stage of Vedic knowledge. This is confirmed in the Srimad Bhagavatam as follows. Aho bata svapako to gariyan yajji vagre vartate nama tubhyam tepas tapas te juhu sasnorarya brahmanuchor nama grinantiyate. Translated as, quote, O my Lord, a person who is chanting your holy name, although born of a low family like that of a Chandala, which means dog eater, is situated on the highest platform of self-realization. Such a person must have performed all kinds of penances and sacrifices according to Vedic rituals, and studied the Vedic literatures many, many times, after taking his bath in all the holy places of pilgrimage. Such a person is considered to be the best of the Aryan family, unquote. So, one must be intelligent enough to understand the purpose of the Vedas without being attached to the rituals only, and must not desire to be elevated to the heavenly kingdoms for a better quality of sense gratification. It's not possible for the common man in this age to follow all the rules and regulations of the Vedic rituals and the injunctions of the Vedantas and the Upanishads. It requires much time, energy, knowledge, and resources to execute the purposes of the Vedas. This is hardly possible in this age. The best purpose of Vedic culture is served, however, by chanting the holy name of the Lord as recommended by Lord Chaitanya, who is the deliverer of all fallen souls. When Lord Chaitanya was asked by a great Vedic scholar, Prakashananda Saraswati, why he, the Lord, was chanting the holy name of the Lord like a sentimentalist instead of studying Vedanta philosophy, the Lord replied that his spiritual master found him to be a great fool, and thus he asked him to chant the holy name of Lord Krishna. He did so and became ecstatic like a madman. In this age of Kali, most of the population is foolish and not adequately educated to understand Vedanta philosophy. The best purpose of Vedanta philosophy is served by inoffensively chanting the holy name of the Lord. Vedanta is the last word in Vedic wisdom, and the author and knower of the Vedanta philosophy is Lord Krishna, and the highest Vedantist is the great soul who takes pleasure in chanting the holy name of the Lord. That is the ultimate purpose of all Vedic mysticism. Another concept is introduced in this purport regarding this age of Kali. So, according to the Vedas, there is a cycle of the ages, and so some ages are, humans are living lives that are like hundreds or thousands of years old, so they have the time to devote to the yogic practices that are in the Vedic scriptures. So those yogic practices are not really possible to do in this age of Kali, where humans are living very short lives. We have very short attention spans. We have limited intellectual capacities. It's also known as the age of quarrel and hypocrisy and corrupted governments and things like that, which, we can definitely feel and attest to. So it is not conducive to doing all of these rituals that, can take years to accomplish in order to liberate your soul from repeated birth and death. So the prescription for this age of Kali is to chant the name of God, the pure and holy name of God. And so that is what, for Hare Krishnas, the chanting of the Maha Mantra is, and it goes like this: Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And so if you've ever seen like those malas, I don't have mine next to me right now, I'll show you next time. We chant just like Catholics have rosary beads where they repeat prayers on that. So it's a similar practice, and it helps to purify your consciousness, and to train your consciousness to always remember Krishna. And so I'll end there. Thank you again ever so much for joining me today, and I'll see you next time. Hare Krishna.